So the next step is looking at the number of ways that we can create graphs. And I'll just start off here. This is Michael Jordan's data. If we look at this column of points and we highlight all of those, one thing that we can do is we can go to Insert, Chart, and Box and Whisker. And you can see a box and whisker is made here. Okay, in class we showed it the other way horizontally, but this is vertically. Okay, and you can see that right at the middle here, the median is, oh, there it is 33, which matches the graph here. Now, I do want to point out something. If you go up here, it says the first quartile, or this one in this case is actually the upper quartile is 39, but here it's just 38.5. And you might be wondering, well, why is it different? Well, first of all, don't stress out about this difference. Just notice that there's an outlier here. So the game that he scored 56 points is considered an outlier. And as a result, what Excel is doing, it's excluding that data from the rest of this. So it's now just separating that. Whereas in class, I may have shown you to extend that, extend this line here to that point. Okay, so it's just there's a difference of opinion, a different approach, but don't get stressed about it. Okay, so this is how you can create a box and whisker. Another useful graph is to just, let's go to Insert. Also remember you can come to this button, Insert, and go to this one, and we can have a bar graph. Okay, so here are the number of points. Now that's not as, potentially that's not as useful. Maybe you want to have a different graph, like let's go to this one over here, and maybe we want to show it this way. So let's go to Insert, bar graph. There it is, and that might be a little bit more useful. You can see the number of times that he scored, however many points in each range of points that we're looking at here. Okay, so that's good, and it gets you started. But another thing that you likely want to do with data is to compare it to another set of data. So what we're going to do, I'll put this to the side, is I'm going to start a new document. Okay, and in this one we're going to compare MJ and LeBron. So first I'm just going to get the raw data that we started with. Okay, so for MJ we have these points. Okay, and actually I'll include the point at the top. Okay, so this is Michael Jordan, and we go back to our new document, and let's just put that like this. Okay, and for LeBron James, we'll do the same thing. So LeBron James data for points is over here. Okay, and let's come back over here. So here we go. And actually, I'll put it one below. So LeBron played one more game in the playoffs than Michael Jordan did. And now what we will do, and in fact, you know what? I will just, we don't need the points there. You can just hopefully remember that. Let's just take all of this now, highlight everything, go to Insert, okay, Chart, and I'll do it from the other way. Insert right here, and we can click this one. And now we have a comparison. We can see them lined up side by side, okay? So that's one thing that can be handy. Let's look at a box chart, a box and whisker plot. Okay, so highlight that the same way. Insert, Chart, where are we? Box and whisker, and there we go. All right, so now the data looks quite different actually, like when you see them side by side. Like, what does this mean, right? If this is Michael Jordan here in blue and this is LeBron, what can this tell us about the data? And we'll leave that to you for you to analyze. Okay, so that's one. And make sure you can change the title. It's good to label the axes and so on. Okay, so that's one thing we can do. I'll put that to the side for now. Another thing that we can do is I'm going to come back to the other one. So here is Michael Jordan's data. I'm going to copy and paste this over. Okay, so that's that. And let's put that in. Let's move the Michael Jordan one aside, come back to here. Okay, so this is MJ's data. And now we need LeBron James's as well. Okay, so LeBron James is over here. Let's copy and paste this now. Okay, and I do want to point out one thing to you. Notice that sometimes when you paste it, the formulas can get all wrong. It can copy and paste the formulas, which can make it strange. But if you can look at paste special and just paste the values, I already have played around with this, so it's nothing to worry about. But if there is a problem, you can come here and then just paste special just the values, and you won't have to deal with that problem. Okay. All right, so I already see a problem here. These look like the same values, so I made a mistake somehow. Let me go back to LeBron. I'll come here, or maybe this was LeBron. Yes, I already have LeBron's data here. Okay, so I copied the wrong one. Let's do this again. LeBron James, put that back. And we need Michael Jordan's. And Michael Jordan's is up here. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, and now you can see this isn't working properly because it's counting a formula, but the formula doesn't exist here. So this is where we will need to paste special. There we go. And let's just double check. These are different. Yes, this is Michael Jordan's. But yes, everything looks like that makes a lot more sense. Okay, so now we have those together. So what we can do is we could, first of all, just take what we need. Okay, so maybe we just want to look at the cumulative frequency here, or the frequency overall. So let's look at it separately. We'll put MJ. Let's copy this column. Might be useful. Okay, and let's put MJ frequency here. Okay, and let's just copy that over. Okay, and let's go to LeBron James frequency. And we will copy and paste this. Okay, so now we have these side by side. So let's go like this and let's just play. Okay, so let's see what happens if we do insert graph here. Okay, we can see it's comparing them. So now you get a better idea from a bar graph how that would look. Okay, so I'll put that to the side for now. And last but not least, we will now compare the cumulative graphs, the cumulative frequency graphs between both of them. So we'll just copy this upper bound and the cumulative frequency for Michael Jordan. Okay, let's rename this if it's helpful to MJ. Let's copy and paste the one for LeBron. Let's also rename that to LeBron. Okay, so now we have the upper bound, and that if you go to insert, let's select this one, and you can see they're together. And now it's just a matter of, do we know how to interpret this and what's better or not better? Okay, so yes. Okay, so you can see the total number of points here is saying up to 59. Okay, it looks like they're the same. Okay, because that's what we have here as our upper bound. And you got to think to yourself, when analyzing this, well, is that really the case? Okay, so think about what's really happening in this graph. And once again, good idea to rename them, label the axes, and so on. And that's it. Do notice that there is another option here. To instead of these being straight lines, you can also just choose this one, which is, it makes it a scatter with smooth lines and markers, as it says. So you can click on that. And I encourage you to play around with all these recommended charts and all these other buttons, or even up here, insert chart. There's a lot to look into. Okay, so that's just an alternative.